What's up, everybody? Welcome to Among the Fence. My name is Aaron, and it's time for New Music Friday. We're going to be talking about some of the new releases coming out throughout the week of September 12th. And honestly, I wasn't even sure if I was going to be doing this video. New Music Friday was taking a dive. I was about to just ball it up and toss it into the bin because it was only getting 20 to 30 views a week. But I asked you guys if you're interested in it, give it some likes, comment on it, because I know I say this a lot, but it goes very far in the algorithm. There was people who have never seen my videos before voting and saying that they would like New Music Friday to continue. Just because you guys liked it, it showed them the video because you guys have the same interest in music. And like I said, it goes a long ways. And I just thank you guys for coming through. But we have a lot of music to talk about this week, so let's get started. Between the Buried and Me is releasing their new album titled The Blue Nowhere. I haven't really seen too much hype for this record, honestly, compared to their last album. I feel like it's just been kind of flying a little low, but I guess it is a little difficult to follow up the album Colors 2, which was the sequel to one of their best albums that they've ever done, one of their most celebrated records. So I kind of get why this one compared to Colors 2 isn't getting that much hype, but I do look forward to hearing what's on this album just because I feel like it's going to be pretty wild. There's for me, pretty low expectations just because the hype just isn't really there, at least within the groups that I associate with. I'm sure on most prog subreddits or Facebook groups, whatever, wherever you go for your group interaction, I'm sure it's probably booming there. But as far as I'm concerned, I haven't heard any of my friends talk about it yet. So I'm excited to hear what this one is because I don't even know what to expect. So we also have a new album from Icy Stars titled The Wheel. It's been 9 years since this band has released their last album, Treehouse, which was okay for electronic core, which I'm not a huge fan of electronic core, but it was okay. The singles, honestly, for this sound like the vocals aren't really doing enough. They're kind of leaning more into the musical aspect, the effect side of it, even with a lot of vocal effects. Honestly, we'll just have to hear the rest of the record to see how it really pans out because it seems it's more electronic than core because of that. There's not a whole lot of hardcore stuff going on, specifically in the vocals, which was, to me, the only saving grace that this band had as an electronic core band. Otherwise, it's just another techno group. We also get a new album from Lorna titled I Feel the Everblack Festering Within Me. This will probably be pretty divisive for a couple reasons. First of all, people don't like the popularity of this band. And second of all, actually, more importantly, because I gotta admit, I've heard the singles, and it does sound like they're releasing The Pain Remains 2, just doing the same kind of thing over again. So it's only because it doesn't really have anything different on it. It sounds pretty much the same. It's just Will Ramos doing what he does with some symphonic death metal behind it. And honestly, even the synth stuff is pretty much the same as well. They don't do too much outside of the box. So if you love Lorna Shore, if you love Will Ramos and his different vocal stuff that he does, you're probably going to love this. If you don't, if you're waiting for this band to wow you and do something different, this probably isn't going to be for you. We also get a new album from Silverstein titled Pinkmoon. This is the weird follow-up album to their last album, Anti-Bloom. And I'm not talking about Silent Planet's album, or I guess Dark Bloom was We Came as Romans. But there's a lot of Bloom albums out recently. And this is the follow-up album to Silverstein's version of Anti-Bloom. And both of these albums feel more like EPs because together they're only 40 minutes. Sure, I think they're going to be 16 songs or something like that, but the first one was 22 minutes and 8 songs, which is barely even an album. And while it was good, it definitely felt like a lot was missing. And I feel like because of that incompleteness, they kind of just, I don't know, I kind of didn't really care. I am curious to hear what, I guess, the second half of the album is going to sound like, but it would have been better, honestly, if it was released all together, at least to me. We also get a new album from Gavin, Dance, and I feel like this is going to be pretty divisive too. I don't have a whole lot of expectations for this band, for this album. It's just, the singles have been very mid to bad. And if you're telling yourself that the singles are really good, you're lying to yourself, because Andrew is so good in Idola. Go listen to Idola. Even the new stuff. Go listen to it. Sure, the instrumentation might not be what it used to be back in the early days of the band, but vocally, Andrew is a beast. And then he comes into Dance Gavin Dance, and I don't know what the hell happened, but he ain't doing it. I don't know if he's trying to find his place within the band or what's going on. Maybe it's going to be more in the deep cuts where he really starts doing what he's known to do in Idola, but it just doesn't work for me. It's like, I have a theory that he's trying to make Dance Gavin Dance suck, so that way Idola, his actually, his major project actually ends up taking off and surpassing them. That's what my theory is. We also get a new album from Demon Hunter titled There Was a Light Here. This one is going to be solid. I mean, this band has aged like fine wine. Not all of their albums are gold, but they're very, very, very consistent. And I don't doubt that this album is going to be another great addition to their discography. I'm very excited to hear it. We also get a new album from 21 Pilots titled Breach. I'm just throwing this one in there because it is my guilty pleasure. If you have been watching my channel for a long time, especially like around 2020, like 2022, you probably saw me wearing a blurry face shirt, which sadly had to be retired because it had holes in it and you could pretty much just see through it completely by the time I got rid of it. But yeah, even if this album sucks, every time I spin it, I'm going to have a smile on my face. I very much look forward to it. And I feel like everybody should listen to Drum Show because it is insane. I've listened to that song so many times since it's come out. And that to me is just worth the album alone. We get a new single from Mudvayne titled Sticks and Stones. Some people did not like the last single that came out. And you can not like it for whatever reason you want, but I feel like there was a lot of unfair expectations thrown onto the new single. I got comments on TikTok and some here on the short that I made doing the review of this single, or the last single, I mean. And people were saying there weren't enough breakdowns, that the vocals weren't clear enough, and that the production was too muddy. Like, have you ever heard Mudvayne before? Have you heard Dig? People cream themselves over that song, and as far as I'm concerned, their last single was as Mudvayne as it could possibly be. Sure, it's not perfect. It's not the best thing I've ever written. That'd be silly to think that. But as far as like a Mudvayne return goes, it was perfect. It sounded like Mudvayne. I don't know if people were expecting like a technical death metal approach of like super cleaned up everything and wheedly doos and guitar run. I don't know. I don't know what people were expecting, but to me it sounded like Mudvayne and it made me very excited for more, so I am ready for this song. We also get a new single from For An Autopsy titled It Comes For You. It's like they heard me say that Signs of the Swarm has been slowly dethroning this band as my favorite deathcore band, and now they're back to reclaim it. And I think I might be wrong, but this might be their second standalone single that they've ever done. I think they only have two. I think the first one was Fear Tomorrow, which came out in like 2020, which is a fantastic single. I listened to that song so many times. So it's kind of a big deal that they're releasing a standalone single. And yeah, I'm definitely ready for it. We also have a new single from Despised Icon titled Death of an Artist. It's like, as far as deathcore goes, this week cannot get any better. This is another titan within the scene, rearing its beautiful head. It's been 6 years since they released Purgatory. I am staying away from all the singles for this new album because I want to hear it in its entirety. I want to hear it for what it's supposed to be. I'm not really a singles guy anyway, so I don't want my perception of the singles to ruin anything when I go into listening to the album and reviewing it. So I'm saving it all for when it all comes out. We also get a new single from Armor for Sleep titled Breathe Again. I know, just like 21 Pilots, this band can do no wrong in my eyes. Their last album was all right, but at the same time, I loved it. Not gonna lie, I was mostly excited the fact that they were back. It took me back to my middle school years, and to me, like this band coming back, their first album is gonna be a little iffy anyways. So give them another chance. This new single and this new album coming out, I feel like they're going to do better this time. So I'm here for it either way. And that is it for New Music Friday. If I missed anything you guys are looking forward to, leave a comment below letting me know what it is. Also, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a like. Like I said last week, it goes so far. It helps so much. And I'm very close to 1,500 subscribers. I'm like 30 away. So a lot of you watching, I think it's like 98% of my viewers aren't subscribed either. Like, I don't do things like, I don't ask people to subscribe. Like, a lot of people give out numbers and stuff, but it'd be cool to hit 1,500. I'm shocked that even 100 people give a crap about this, but 1,500 is insane. So if any of you guys are watching, you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing. It would be super cool to hit that number. And I just thank you guys for taking time out of your day to listen to me sit here and talk about music. I hope you have a good rest of your day or night, whenever you have me watching this, and I'll talk to you guys next time.